G Show Lane, and welcome to another episode of the G Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is the Godzilla Block Party. And a very impromptu episode of the Godzilla Block Party, may I add, because not only are we doing our second block party of the week, because we have news that just dropped courtesy of The Wrap. But before we get into all that, let me introduce you to my right hand when it comes to Godzilla on the G Show, and that is my man, G73, you know him as Megs from Megalon, my brother, Chase. What's up, my man?
What's up, man? I kind of hope this is just news to kind of help weed us out till the next Godzilla King of the Monsters news drops, but either way, it's still cool.
It is still cool, and thank you for sending this my way, and that's why we, as soon as this came in, I was like, what the hell? And I start messaging G73, and then I was like, to hell with the message, I got his phone number. Let me just call him. So I picked up the phone, and I called him, and we started talking, and then, of course, as we're talking, we're like, dude, we should press record, and here we are. So, although we're not going to get into the conversation verbatim, we're going to go over the conversation, the topic, which is this, from the website The Wrap, which I don't know how much credibility this is, but if G73 is sending it my way, if Chase is sending it my way,
but yeah, it's not just The Wrap now. It's pretty much everybody's covering it.
Everybody's covering it. Okay, so
yeah,
Warner Brothers has officially released this thing. Okay, so check this out. Godzilla vs Kong moving up 2 months to March 2020 instead of May. Okay, here's the article from The Wrap. As part of a series of release date shifts, Warner Brothers announced that Legendary Pictures' Godzilla vs. Kong has been moved up 2 months and will now be released on March 13th, 2020. The upcoming film is the culmination of Legendary's Monsterverse, which is combining the worlds of King Kong and Godzilla into a single universe. The series began in earnest in 2017 with Kong Skull Island. That's not true. It started in 2014 with Godzilla. Let's just be for real here. But I digress. And we'll continue this summer with Godzilla King of the Monsters before the two finally clash next year. I can't wait. Kong and Godzilla previously appeared together in the 1962 Japanese kaiju film King Kong vs. Godzilla, which was produced by Godzilla-owning studio Toho. The film became a massive hit and still stands as the top Godzilla film in terms of tickets sold in Japan. That's kind of crazy when you think about that, right?
Yeah.
So there you have it. Warner Brothers, they started moving around release dates, and they said, you know what? We're going to put Godzilla vs. Kong in March of 2020. Now, that being said, I'm going right to you first. Chase, man, what do you think of that?
Well, I mean, at first, I don't know. I have problems with Adam Wingard. I apologize if he does listen to this. It's not like I have anything with you personally. I don't think you're a bad person. But, I mean, you haven't gotten the best rap with movies. You haven't made a lot of movies. I also feel like Godzilla vs. Kong has been completely rushed. Just paying attention to all the production of it all. And, I'm a firm believer that I feel Mike Dougherty should have gotten the baton to done the rest of the Monsterverse. But, that's just my personal opinion. And how you got the gig, congratulations. I just really hope you don't mess it up for us. But I still feel like Godzilla vs. Kong is rushed. I feel like it was a rushed movie from the start. Just from looking at the production of it, it seemed very rushed, and there was a minor complication. I don't remember exactly what, but it just seems rushed. With that being said, I felt like May would have been a little bit of a time for you guys. I don't know. I felt like Godzilla vs. Kong should have had a 2021 release date, but knowing that wouldn't have been good because of all the bigger movies coming out in 2021, and there are a lot. And I'm sorry, but Jurassic World 3 is coming out in 2021, and if Godzilla went up against Jurassic World, You probably wouldn't have won that one, Godzilla. I'm just saying.
Oh,
And
I'm totally gonna challenge you on that later.
I know you are, but anyways, I just felt like Godzilla was rushed, and so I wasn't happy. And it's funny because like the other day I was like, they should just push Kong earlier. And thinking about that, I was like, I think that would have been cool. But then actually seeing it, I'm like, I don't know if I actually like it, but I don't know because I'm just conflicted on the idea. And I'm glad it's not going up against Fast 9 because Fast 9 would have blown it out of the water. And not blown it out of the water, but Fast 9 would have taken that box office. Now, I was listening to John Campea, and he was talking about it all depends on Godzilla, King of the Monsters. If King of the Monsters does great, and it is an audience winner, Godzilla vs. Kong is going to have no trouble at all. And I like that. He did say, however, it also depends, too, because Fast 9 is a $1 billion movie out of the gate. There hasn't, like, the majority of the Fast Furious movies, they have made money. They're money makers. And so he was saying, like, I don't think it would have been that big of a hurt, but Godzilla vs. Kong wouldn't have been the top box office that weekend. Another person on his panel was saying also that there are also those people that are, like, burned out of the Fast Furious movies, and they probably would have been more compelled to see Godzilla over Fast and the Furious, which is possible too, but you never know. These cases, they're just what ifs, you never know. But with that being said, the more that I feel about it, the more that I think about it, you look at it in March, there's not really anything coming out for Godzilla in March. It's coming out on Friday the 13th, which I think is cool. There are people out there that think it's a bad idea. I think that's a biased notion. I think you need to put your stupid superstitions away. I mean, Friday the 13th is just a day, in my book, it's just a Friday, and it's coming out, and it's Godzilla. And that's going to be probably near spring break, too, so that's going to be kind of cool. But with that being said, I'm not as opposed to it now. The more that I think about it, the more that I feel about it. And with you going over me on the phone, what you were explaining to me, I was like, okay, that makes sense. I am still skeptical. I still feel like Godzilla vs. Kong is being rushed, though. I will say that. And that's kind of where I stand. But I'm on board for a March because I was actually on board with Godzilla King of the Monsters coming out in March. I thought March would have been a great month. March to the Monsters. I thought that's a perfect. And if they sold it with that tagline, I think it would have been great. So, where I stand now is like, I hope Adam Wingard knows what he's doing. And yeah, I'll hand the reins over to you now.
Couple of things. So, I don't like the idea of Godzilla King of the Monsters coming out in March this year because right now, this year is still owned by Disney. There's no way around it. Disney is going to own 2019. You've got in March Captain Marvel, which I gotta be honest, I'm not feeling. But I'm also not stupid, and I know that these Marvel movies make a butt ton of money. So that movie going up against Godzilla going up against Captain Marvel, I don't think it had a chance at all. Okay. Also in this year, you've got probably the biggest, if not the biggest, the second biggest movie of the year in terms of money, and that's Avengers Endgame. Because you've got Avengers Endgame that Disney's producing for Marvel, okay, which is ending this Avengers story. But then you also have in December Star Wars Episode 9, which is wrapping up this new trilogy. And we still don't know nothing about that, which is also produced by Disney for Lucasfilm. So either one is going to tip the balance. It could be Avengers. It could be Star Wars. Right now, I don't know. I'm just excited for that. But then you also have this year with Disney, you have the Aladdin live action movie, which comes out in or around where Godzilla King of the Monsters comes out. You have Dumbo and The Lion King, which comes out later. And then you also have Spider-Man Far From Home, which is a co-production with Sony. So you got a ton of things this, and there might be more stuff later. I don't know. There might be more stuff, but those are the high-profile movies that I know of. So I don't like Godzilla coming out in March. I like where it's at in May, King of the Monsters. I kind of dig where it's placed. We do have X-Men Dark Phoenix coming out a week after King of the Monsters, which gives me a little bit of concern because the last time a Godzilla movie came out in 2014 for Legendary, a week later, X-Men Days of Futures Past came out and completely stole all of Godzilla's thunder. And I hated it. And I don't even like Days of Futures Past. I didn't like the movie, but I was just so like, damn. Godzilla had its opportunity and now this crappy ass X-Men movie. But I digress. What I will say though is Godzilla vs. Kong moved up to March of 2020, I think is a fantastic idea for a couple of reasons. One, okay, there's nothing in its way. There is nothing in its way. You think about what I just finished saying about Disney and their movies, their big movies. Avengers Endgame is the end of this particular Avengers story. It's over. We're not going to get another Avengers movie next year. We probably won't get another Avengers movie for 2 or 3 years. I'm saying 3, maybe 4 years. We won't get another Avengers movie. Because now they're going to have to build upon the new cast. We got Captain Marvel this year. We got the second Spider-Man. We don't even know how that's going to work out between Marvel and Sony later on down the road, right? But that's it. Iron Man's finished. We're not getting Iron Man 4. We're not getting a Thor 4. We're not getting Captain America 4. This all ends in Endgame. It's all over, right? So we don't have to worry about an Avengers movie next year in March, all right? It's been March 13th. It'll have 2 solid weeks. The past 2 years, the Avengers movies have come out the first or second week of April. And they have slain the competition. Infinity War is... You already know. I think it might be... It's not the highest grossing movie of all time. I think it might be the highest grossing opening weekend of all time. I'm pretty sure it is. I think it took Episode 7's crown. But still, the movie made buku bucks. There's no doubt in my mind that Endgame is going to make buku bucks. That is going to kill it at the box office. But next year, nothing's in its way. Nothing. I don't have to worry about Disney. DC's track record is kind of sloppy. It's not been proven. Hopefully, Aquaman did its thing. It made a buttload of money. Hopefully, Shazam this year makes a buttload of money. But what comes out next year? We don't even know. We don't even know when it comes out. Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad 2. Like, we don't know when it's coming. The Batman, I think the Batman slated for November of 2020. Who knows? So, you don't have to worry about that. It's a genius move, in my opinion, where you can plop something like Godzilla vs. Kong in a month where there seems to be nothing coming out and hopefully reap the benefits. Because here's the deal. Godzilla King of the Monsters needs to make money, okay? And I feel that it's going to do the numbers that Godzilla King of the Monsters did, around $550 million, $600 million. That's what that's what King of the Monsters needs to do. Well, that's what I think it's going to do. I would love for it to do $1 billion, but that's just me being hyperbolic there. I'm going all crazy. I don't think it'll break $1 billion. If it does, I will be the happiest G fan on the earth. If it broke 650, 700 million, I'd be a happy G fan. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I don't think that's going to be the case, which is why I like Godzilla vs. Kong in March, where there's nothing around it and it can make some money. Now, to go on what you said about it feeling rushed, and I agree with you with Adam Wingard. I'm not well versed in his filmography. I don't know. I've never seen his movies, and if I have, I don't remember.
Blair Witch.
Which, you know what? I did not finish watching. I watched the first 10 minutes, and then I don't know what I had to do, but I did something else. And I didn't see Death Note for Netflix, and I'm probably not gonna see Death Note for Netflix. Shout out to Matt G75. But I agree. If it was Michael Dougherty, I would have loved it because so far he seems like the ultimate fan making this movie, you know? And that probably would have made Godzilla vs. Kong come out either 2021 or maybe even 2022. Give it enough time to cook. Give it enough time to cook. But that being said, I still think that there's more than enough time for Godzilla vs. Kong from its inception date as far as production goes, October? Up until March of 2020? That's more than enough time to get this movie done, honestly. There's more than enough time. We're not even in March yet now. So we still got a whole year before this movie even comes out. If this movie wraps, let's say as far as September, they still have plenty of time to go do the special effects work, everything they need to do. Plenty of time. I'm totally on board with this release date. Actually, I love it and applaud it. I think this is perfect. And I've been on record saying that I feel like these movies should come out in November, but I think Godzilla vs. Kong, with nothing in its way, coming out in March of 2013 is the right move.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. I do. But with that, see, that's the thing. It's like, with that being said, like, let's just go off into like a whole fantasy type realm here. I'm a firm believer that Godzilla vs. Kong, if it makes a lot of money, that's the plan. With them intentionally intending it to make money, or just satisfactory to where they wanted it. The trilogy doesn't stop there. I firmly believe, because of all of the things that have changed, and especially with Toho's partnership that they just signed recently with Legendary, I think they had way more planned. They may have, like I said, may have been a few years later. Who knows? But with that being said, if it is the last movie in the trilogy, do you really think it really matters whether or not, you know? I mean, yeah, of course, from a business standpoint, it definitely matters. But to us as fans, this is just a question I wanted to ask you. Do you think it would matter if you know, the box office regarding it? Do you think at that point it doesn't matter? Now, take away the business standpoint. Let's say, yeah, Legendary's like, you know, we're not going to do any more Godzilla movies after Godzilla vs. Kong. Okay, with that out of the way, from a fan standpoint, does it matter the box office at that point?
I think so. And I'll tell you why. There's a couple of reasons. Yes, because you still want this movie to make money. You want to make the money back. You want to prove it a viable commodity. Now, you
want its reputation.
That, yes, but still a viable commodity. I mean, think about the possibilities, okay? As G fans and just fans of the genre, we've done speculated and had fun with so much, right? Legendary produces what other giant monster movie outside of the Monsterverse? Pacific Rim.
Yeah, that's right.
And as fans of the genre, what have we been? Oh, could you imagine? I mean, there's been artwork. It's all over the place. Could you imagine a Pacific Rim Godzilla crossover? Oh, Monsterverse crossover? I can. It's there. It's in the realm of possibility. So you want that. You want it to be a viable franchise. You want it to make money. You don't want it to lose money, first off, because it's a business. It is. But also, if Legendary has no intent of making new movies, that's not to say that whatever Toho does from here on out doesn't get distributed here in the States under Legendary's banner. Kind of like how Godzilla 2000 came out under Sony's banner. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's an excellent point.
Right. So you want this movie to make money. You want it to be a viable name. Because if Toho starts pumping them out again, and we're all excited about that, and we're all going crazy. I mean, think about it. Funimation had the release rights to Shin Godzilla, right? But what if Legendary had the release rights to Shin Godzilla, and they promoted that movie more than Funimation did? Because if you put your TV on, did you ever see a commercial for Shin Godzilla while watching, like, let's say, a basketball or a football game? I didn't.
In where I was living at the time, there was one during a basketball game, but it was because it was a local, and it's Bakersfield, Taft, California. But that was it. There was
but I'm talking about like the NBA or the NFL. I'm not talking about maybe high school or college.
Than that, there was nothing like top tier promoting.
And that's what I'm saying. Under the Legendary banner, that would have gotten it. Shin Godzilla would have been promoted hard. You know what I mean? Think about it like this. Dragon Ball Super Broly made $22 million in its opening weekend. That's unheard of. It's unheard of. It's absolutely insane. Okay? And yes, that was Funimation, and maybe Dragon Ball, runs that gamut. But could you imagine if Legendary had control and did the thing? And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's still reasons why even if it was the last movie in the franchise, you still needed to be successful. You still wanted to make money because you still want that name recognition and brand to mean something. If Toho is like, Legendary, distribute our movies overseas. And that right there rocks, like, from the creators of Godzilla comes a brand new, you know what I mean? Like, in terms like that, things like that. And I'm so open for it. I'm totally with it. I'm totally with it.
Yeah, I see where that. I see that. Yeah, I like. It makes sense because not only the reputation of it, you still want it to be good, but in case there ever is, let's say Legendary has they're like, all right, we are going to stop. What's not to say another company goes to Toho and be like, well, we want to make a Godzilla movie, so.
Yeah, well, that becomes a bidding war, but I would think, and that's another reason why you want King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong to make money.
Then if that's the case, then let's say Legendary just decides, then fine, we'll just make another Godzilla movie.
Right, and that's what I'm, and that's what my fingers are crossed for. Honestly, I don't want to see this universe end, but I totally understand if Godzilla vs. Kong is the end. And I'm actually okay with that because, again, I love G14. I love that movie. And from all we've seen so far from King of the Monsters, I'm going to love this movie. Unless I come out of this movie and be like, I cannot believe this was utter crap. I don't think that's going to be the case. And then Godzilla vs. Kong, regardless if it's Adam Wingard or me and you directing the damn thing, probably be better if it's me and you. Just saying. But I'm just saying, like, the fact of the matter is that our generation, this generation of G fans, right? We have not seen that on the big screen. Okay? This is our first, and I'm not saying remaking, but they are redoing King Kong versus Godzilla. That's something that we in our wildest dreams never would have thought happened.
Or do you mean they're redoing Destroy All Monsters with Kong in it and other monsters?
I think they're redoing Destroy All Monsters. I'll tell you right now, King Ghidorah is going to live in this in Godzilla King of the Monsters. I've said this before, and I will continue to say it until I see King of the Monsters, and I'm proven wrong. I don't think I'll be proven wrong. I honestly watch
all of the Toho monsters live. And then they all team up and they go against the ones that are the new kaiju. So like the ones that are not Toho monsters. That would be funny. Kind of cool.
All I'm saying is Godzilla vs. Kong. # Destroy All Monsters, and I'm totally down. # Anguirus confirmed. I don't care what nobody says. That damn thing is Anguirus. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that because I do want to talk about that. I do. I had my doubts in the last podcast, then no more doubts. I'm back to being 100% sure. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. I do want to point out something you said, because now I gotta get at you, bro. I gotta get at you. What do you mean that Jurassic World 3 would have beaten Godzilla vs. Kong in a box office? What do you mean? Because listen, Jurassic World 2 was not a financial success, bro. It was a flop.
Jurassic World 1 was the number one when it came out. It made the most money a movie was a number 3 or something like that. Jurassic World 2 was just a couple $100 million less than that.
Yeah, but you gotta remember when Jurassic World 1, then Star Wars came into the mix and took that. It was opening weekend. Let me rephrase that. Opening weekend. That's what it was. Because Jurassic World 1 does not come nowhere close to the top 3 of money-making movies of all time. Opening weekend, yes. It was the first one that had this super record. Then Star Wars Episode 7 came out because you remember, if I'm not mistaken, you had the Tyrannosaurus Rex putting the I guess the I can't even say the damn name, the crown, quote unquote, on the little BB-8 droid, and then when Avengers took the spot, you had BB-8 giving the, even though it's Disney, giving the damn thing over to Iron Man or whatever. Jurassic World 2 did not do nothing. Zip. It was terrible, man. That movie was in and out of the box office.
But it still made a crap ton of money.
And its opening weekend, yeah, I get that. But after that, it fell off quick. And because it was a bad movie. So that being said, there's no reason for me to believe that if King of the Monsters resonates with the fans and then non-fans, and that movie makes some decent money, that the anticipation level for Godzilla vs. Kong wouldn't be so high where it cannot overtake Jurassic World 3. Because here's the deal. We're both going into our third parts. And if Godzilla King of the Monsters delivers more so than Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which I honestly believe it will, then if these two movies were going head-to-head, Jurassic World 3 and Godzilla vs. Kong, there's no doubt in my mind, because of the anticipation, Godzilla vs. Kong topples that movie. Topples it. Because people are... but again, we do have to see what the box office is for King of the Monsters.
I only say it from this, is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom still made $1 billion. Made $1,309,000,000. God, I can't even pronounce or say how much it is, but it's a big number. And then you look at Godzilla and Kong combined, they didn't make that money.
No, I get that. But also, you got to look at it like this. The Jurassic franchise is something special to American movie-going audiences. Okay? You gotta...
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a personal question. Ready for this one? And I don't know the answer, so that's why I'm asking. Was it Jurassic Park first or Godzilla first?
It was Godzilla first.
Oh, okay. Then you know what?
Yeah, it was Godzilla first.
Okay. All right.
You mean like when I got into it?
Yeah, like what did you see first? What made you fall in love?
It was Godzilla.
Okay. That's cool, and I respect that. So I wanted to ask you that question. I'm sure that a lot of other people would say Jurassic Park, and I'm almost positive a lot more people would say I've never seen a Godzilla movie.
But also the difference is my dad was a big Godzilla fan too. So
well, I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying, and I respect that. What I'm trying to say is though.
No, what I mean is I grew up. My dad was passing on him, and at the time, when I was born, Jurassic Park wasn't in his inventory of movies he wanted to share with me yet.
Right. But that's my point though. See, your dad was a Godzilla fan, so he shared that with you, right? I'm talking about people who ain't never seen a Godzilla movie, and believe you me, there are a lot of them out here.
There's a lot.
But they've seen the Jurassic Park movies, and they might have fallen in love with that first, right? But still, just Jurassic World 2 making $1 billion, That wasn't domestically. You got to look at the domestic box office and then do the comparison.
Yeah, no, it was worldwide. You do make that point because domestically, Jurassic World 2 only made $493 million.
That means that Godzilla 2014 made more money than Jurassic World 2. If that trend continues,
that would be right.
If that trend continues, then yeah, I believe if Godzilla vs Kong and Jurassic World 3 would come out like in and around the same time, Godzilla would win. It would win. It would make more money just because of the domestic box office. I feel like that trend would follow suit and continue.
And I see that from that standpoint now. Yeah, because then again, you're talking weekend box offices opposed to total. But even then, Godzilla 2014 was only shy a couple 100,000 of being $1 billion for its total box office.
At the end of the day, yeah, for worldwide, and that, you know, to me is great. But like for me, it's all about the domestic one because Godzilla it's an import. Godzilla is our import. We love it. We love our import from Japan. I love Toho for creating Godzilla. I absolutely love Godzilla. We wouldn't be doing this podcast if I did not, right?
Yeah.
That's why I always hope that when these movies come out here in America, an American-produced Godzilla movie, hell, even 98, before like the internet craze, I wasn't on the internet like that, but before all that, no, I'm lying, I was, but it wasn't the internet that we know now. There was no social media, there was none of that stuff, right? You had some forums here and there. I didn't even get on that. But I did know what the internet was at that point in time. And I had it. But that all being said, even 98, because it was titled Godzilla, I wanted it to make money in the box office. I want that shit to succeed. You know what I mean? And yes, it's a very divisive movie amongst G fans. I mean, like, that movie is hated. And I get it. It's not a Godzilla movie. It's not. And I'd be the first to admit it. And that's why Toho made the name change to Zilla. And I respect that, right? But still, when it came out in 1998, it was called Godzilla. And I wanted it to be a successful movie. Regardless on how it was botched. Because it was botched. But Legendary came out.
And it's funny because Godzilla, I'm looking at its box office. It only made like 136 million... or is that $1 billion?
No, it's $1 million. They did not gross $1 billion.
Weekly, its first week when it came out, it made about
80 something.
No, it came out May. Yeah, it actually was 18 million. It looks like.
Where'd I get 80 from? I think that was his grand total. 18 million in 1998 for its opening weekend. That's not good. But again, I don't remember what happened 20 years ago. You know, that could have been great box office for the weekend. Compared to what we get now, $100, $200 million opening weekend. It's crazy. But movies now are events. They are events. And it's all thanks to Marvel. It really is. Because if it wasn't for Marvel doing what they did, we wouldn't have this Godzilla universe. We would not have it at all.
But also, frankly, if we didn't have Marvel, we probably wouldn't be having these huge, gigantic box office wars.
Exactly. You're 100% correct. Exactly. But, again, I mean, all that being said, there's no way in my mind that I believe that if Jurassic World 3 and Godzilla vs. Kong came out in or around the same time, Jurassic World beats it that weekend at the box office. Maybe worldwide, and in total, it possibly can. But domestically, opening weekend, hell to the no. No. I just don't believe it. But anyhow, let's get back to Kong, Godzilla vs. Kong coming out in March. And the fact that, you know what? It's a year away. It literally is. I mean, like, right now, it's February 21st. We're recording this. It's a little bit late. It's almost 8 o'clock West Coast time, Pacific time, right? And it's good news. I honestly believe it's good news. I really do. It's coming out against nothing that we know of so far. There's no movies on the horizon that's gonna rival it in terms of the monsters. Avengers, any kind of Marvel movie that has, credence and continuity. There's no Star Wars coming out. And Star Wars, I think, is done for the next couple of years after this one. And they will only be coming out in December. I'm telling you that right now. On this Godzilla block party, I'm telling you that Star Wars from here on out is only going to be coming out in December. Disney learned its lesson. You don't drop a Star Wars movie in May no more. You just don't do it. You don't leave it in December. Let it rack up. Let it rack up. And when Avatar 2 comes out, just let them go head to head. Just let them go head to head. Which is the more proven commodity? That's, But so I love, yeah.
So I'm looking up like what movies are stated for March, and it looks like you have well, that's the end of March, not the beginning. But you have Mulan, G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe? What?
Yeah, they're doing a new G.I. Joe movie.
Go ahead, bro.
Untitled Blumhouse movie.
That doesn't count. It's untitled. We don't know what it is. It doesn't count.
And that's it looks like some romantic comedy with Kumail Nanjiani.
Yep. I don't even know who that is. It doesn't count.
Yeah. So it looks like there's not really much going on. But see, what's weird is it still has Gambit set for it, and Gambit's scrapped. So that's just what's kind of funny about it. But however, we can digress with that. But so yeah, Godzilla vs Kong isn't going to have competition.
No, it's in the clear, man, and that's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a good thing. Again, I'm not going to make any predictions or projections in terms of what it's going to make until I see what King of the Monsters does. And the first 2 weeks of King of the Monsters is going to tell the story. So, and again, the trailers have been fantastic for King of the Monsters. Fantastic. It's gotten the fan base up in arms. Like, we're ready. I haven't seen as many negative comments towards the King of the Monsters trailers than anything else. So everything has been relatively positive, and I love that. I love that about where we're at right now in terms of being G fans. You know what I mean?
Oh, me too. I mean, I don't think King of the Monsters, and I'm gonna knock on my wall here, but King of the Monsters is definitely not going to be a box office flop. I don't see that happening just with Comic-Con's reaction alone.
Right.
That was a phenomenal reaction.
It was.
Now it didn't have any competition, but still, for it to be the number one most excited trailer, the most viewed trailer out of Comic-Con, well, that's still something.
Wait a minute.
And the fact that everybody, all of these major movie reviewers and John Campia and everyone else are talking about it and are excited for it, that's pretty cool.
Now, I got to play devil's advocate here because I'm not going to say that it was the best trailer. As a G fan, yes, it's my obligation to say that, but I got to look at it objectively. That Warner Brothers panel not only showed that, it showed the Aquaman trailer, right? But it also had the Shazam trailer. So, now granted...
Yeah, but statistically, Godzilla vs. Kong was the most viewed.
King of the Monsters.
Yeah, King of the Monsters was the most viewed out of all those trailers.
And yeah, I get that.
And Comic-Con did a poll after, and they did what was your most favorite trailer debuted at Comic-Con, and Godzilla was the winner.
Oh, and I agree with that. And you got to also remember, though, DC has been going through some very dark times. Godzilla hasn't been, you know what I mean? So there was a lot of skepticism. But then when Aquaman came out in December, Aquaman crushed it. It made its $1 billion. I mean, it's...
Well, Aquaman was also number 2.
Well, yeah. So there you go. And we don't know what Shazam is going to do. Shazam looks like it's going to be fun as hell. So...
I hope Shazam's fun as hell.
I hope so, too, for Warner Brothers' sake. Make that money. Get everything chugging along. And again, we have I mean, you got Shazam coming out, but yeah, King of the Monsters is going to be. It's going to be the king of the box office that weekend, and hopefully X-Men doesn't come and ruin it. But damn it, I don't know.
No, man, X-Men's not going to touch it.
Let's hope not.
I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to knock on wall again. But yeah, X-Men's not going to. No. I'm not worried about X-Men.
I gotcha. All right.
X-Men are going to put the X in themselves.
All right, man. Listen. Let's do it. Let's talk about that TV spot that came out last week. I got to go back to it. I know we discussed it on the last podcast, the one that actually went up, but we got to talk about this because, bro, I got to renege on some of the stuff I said. I'm going back, and I'm going to say it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear it right now. I'm telling you right now. G1, me, is 100% certain that mountain mover is Anguirus. I don't care what nobody says. It's absolutely Anguirus. I call it from the jump. I'm with everybody else. I'm in the same camp with everybody else who said that's Anguirus from the very first time they seen that second trailer when the mountain moved. It's Anguirus. That eye-opening shot, I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of things as it's Camebus or it's Biollante. And I'm like, I guess I can see where you're coming from. But the fact of the matter is you're wrong. Because it's not. It damn well is Anguirus. It's totally Anguirus. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a little secret. A secret that you all know. This is the second movie. The second Godzilla movie. This is the second Godzilla movie that Legendary is making. And Anguirus was in the second Godzilla movie Toho made. So I'm just telling you that Michael Dougherty is enough of a fanboy to understand that and line it up. Anguirus, even though it's a bit part and he comes out of a mountain in Munich, Germany, the fact of the matter is this. That thing is Anguirus. And yeah, spoilers. I'm sorry. I should have said that from the jump. But the fact is, y'all probably seen that trailer already, and you just probably made up your own mind. But I'm telling you right now, there's no doubt in mind that thing coming out of the mountain is Anguirus. G73, tell me if I'm going crazy or not.
I keep seeing so much stuff, and it's driving me nuts because I posted about it, and it's not just like the mountain mover, but it's the like crab legs monster. People are like, "Oh, it's Mothra coming out of the desert," and I'm like, "Stop it!
That's retarded! Like, come on, man! What? It's not. We see Mothra hatch from the damn egg, you doofuses!
Yeah,
come on!
It's not Mothra. Why would Mothra be coming out of the goddamn desert in an oil field? No." And they're like, well, it's the larva. I'm like, no, it's not the larva. The larva's a caterpillar. It's not going to have spider legs.
Oh my
and these people that are so, I'm sorry, stupid, that they think it's a larva. And they still think it's Mothra. But with that being said, I go back and forth on the mountain mover one because I want to believe it's Anguirus. But if it is Anguirus, it's going to be a totally different design that we've ever seen, which it's highly possible. But however, I keep seeing people, and they're like, well, it turns out that Mike Dougherty doesn't have the rights for other monsters. And I'm like, well, for one, it wouldn't be Mike Dougherty specifically; it'd just be Legendary.
Right.
But people are like, Legendary doesn't have those rights. And there was a guy yesterday that said that. I recently found out that Legendary, or no, his words were, Mike Dougherty doesn't have the rights to other monsters, so it's not Anguirus.
Wait. Are you doing Super Nerd Guy?
Yes, I am. And because it makes me sick, because like a part of me is like, I want to believe it's Anguirus, and a part of me really thinks that's Anguirus. I do. But it's going to be a very weird Anguirus, and I'm not too worried about that, but it's also like I'm at the point where it's like I don't know what to believe. I think if I want to trust my gut, Mike Dougherty is trolling us big time big time. He made that scene look as deceiving as he could, and we're going to be surprised. And that's how I feel. Unless in trailer 3 comes out and it totally gives us the whole baked beans, which is possible because they're showing us way too much of the unknown kaiju. We weren't even expecting that, and that happened. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I think if anything, if it is Anguirus, he's doing a good job trolling us, and because it's like the way I don't know. I feel like if it was, I don't know if he's like, this is where it's also like where I see from the other side too. He could be trolling us, making us think it's Anguirus to get us more excited for the movie. He could be doing that, but that would be a pretty dick move for a Godzilla fan that as he is. So with that being said, I really don't know. I mean, I can't, like, at this moment in time, I'm going to join you, Ray. I think it's Anguirus. Because I don't think it's Rockmuto or Kamiba, or some guy said it's Vishnu, that weird centipede monster. I'm like, it looks like a reptilian monster.
I saw that too.
How could that be a bug? And I'm just like, God, people are so stupid, and I'm sorry, but some of you Godzilla fans out there are so pea-brained, man.
Listen, man, I love Rockmuto. I do. I can't even lie. I want to see Rockmuto. But it ain't Rockmuto. Definitely
no, not Rockmuto, but Rockmoodle. And it was an early Godzilla 2014 concept of a monster that looked like Anguirus, but it wasn't.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's correct. I don't know if it was 2014 concept art. I remember the image, but I don't know exactly if that was tied with Legendary. I don't think so. I think I may have heard that, and I just stuck that because I thought maybe it was right, but I may be wrong on that, so don't quote me. But however, I don't know what it could be, but I think. I think it's Anguirus, and if I end up being wrong, then so what? I mean, it's still cool, but there's something about thinking that it's Anguirus is really exciting.
Right, it is.
I think that's what Mike Doherty's trying to do, is excite us, and I hope he's exciting us for the real reasons. I hope that is Anguirus, because that would be just great, but. I don't know. I think the way that image and that scene is filmed, it's just filmed to look like it's not Anguirus in a way, or it's filmed to where it's going to look like a weird Anguirus. Because I remember you saying oh well, there's debris in front of its face, and you wouldn't be able to see a horn at the end of its nose. And I'm like, and I agree, because if it was Anguirus, there would be that horn at the end of its snout, right. And you don't see that. But, however, I mean, you can't really see the whole body of this thing either.
Right.
For all we know, it could be an Anguirus, a legendary version that doesn't have that horn on its nose. It doesn't have to have the horn on its nose.
It'll have the horn on its nose. I guarantee that. If it is Anguirus, which I'm 100% sure it is, but if it is Anguirus, it's going to have it. I'll put it like this. It's going to be very reminiscent of what it is. You look at that Mothra larva in Legendaries, in King of the Monsters, that doesn't look like what we know the Mothra larva to look like. It looks like a botfly larva, okay? Even Mothra itself, it has the Kamacuras-style legs.
It's a mosquito.
Yeah, but it's still gorgeous. And I don't hate it at all. I actually love that adult Mothra look. I love it, and it makes plenty of sense. Why can't Anguirus be a little bit fudged up? And I don't think it's going to be a major thing. I'm telling you, that thing, the snout is there. It's blocked. It's totally
cluttered.
blocked.
It's cluttered behind debris and a blue screen and like a computer monitor.
Right.
And
it's very well done. It's very well done. I'm telling you. I make the comparison to the Incredible Hulk. The Hulk in Infinity War trailer, and then when you see the movie, it's not the Hulk. It's actually Bruce Banner in the Hulk Buster suit. I was gonna say Ironmonger. I don't know where that came from, but in the Hulk Buster suit, you know.
Mecha Mothra.
Yes, yeah, dude. Yes, that's what's gonna happen. Millie Bobby Brown's flying Mecha Mothra. I'm so ready.
That's her in Washington D.C. That's the cockpit of the of Mothra.
Dude. It's so true. I want to touch. Oh my god. But no, dude. I'm on point. I'm not on point, but I think I'm on point, and I do believe that is Anguirus. I do. And if it's not Anguirus, then it could be a Baragon, because Baragon has a very small snout. You know, it's just a mouth. It's like Godzilla's mouth. So it could plug, and it still has the horn.
See, I don't know if I would believe it's Anguirus before Baragon, just because that creature doesn't look mammalian, and Baragon looks like a mammal.
That's true.
And so that's where I'm like off on it. But like, I don't know, like it could be their own version of a giant turtle, and it's just not Gamera.
Nah, I don't know. Why would it be? Why would a giant?
The reason why I say that is because it definitely has a shell. It definitely does, because I made a GIF of that image, and you definitely see like a shell on its shoulder blade. But you see spikes.
Yeah, and that's it. You see the spikes, and the spikes move with that shell. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
And that's why I'm like, it's got to be Baragon. Baragon. Oh my god, Anguirus. It's got to be Anguirus. You know. What other creature
It's either Anguirus or, what other animal on the planet or a monster would have a shell? So it's either Anguirus or just a very strange type turtle.
Yeah, I don't. Well, Camebus actually. Now that I think about it, Camebus actually has.
Camebus was a turtle.
Yeah, and it has like these weird like horns on its shell, like.
Yeah, but spikes. I don't think it's Camebus.
I agree.
That would be like if it was Camebus and not Anguirus, I would be calling Mike Doherty up and being like, "You asshole."
Yeah, I'd be like, "Where's Adam Wingard? Give me Adam Wingard."
Yeah, you gave us a monster nobody wanted.
Right. We did that already, and we did it in a pretty good moment. And what was it? Was it GXMG, or like Godzilla versus Mothra versus Mechagodzilla?
Yeah, it was Tokyo SOS.
Tokyo S. I should have really just said that. I really did. Doof. Slipped my mind. But anyhow, man, listen. I'll tell you this. The excitement level is there. We're almost there. Okay? February is almost over. We got March, we got April. We still got about 3, almost 4 freaking months, dude. Because Godzilla don't come out to the end of
May. March, how I was feeling, once March hits, it's going to come fast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know because then it's like, you just think it's April. Then after March, it's April, then May. And then April's going to come by, and it's going to feel like April didn't even happen.
Let me ask you a question before we get out of here. Do you think we're going to get another full trailer, or do you think it's TV spots from here on out?
You know what? Because I remember I messaged you earlier about that. Because, Legendary and Warner Brothers and the Godzilla pages, like the legit ones, they're posting that up. And they haven't done that with the other TV spots. They haven't, promoted them. So I don't know, and I would not be shocked if we didn't get a third full trailer. I think it would be TV spots, but the thing is, if they were doing more TV spots, I don't know why they wouldn't just do a full trailer.
Right.
But yet, TV spots would limit the amount of stuff they could show. But eventually, how many TV spots would you do? And you would still end up showing too much. So I don't know really what to say here, but I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I wonder if this was our third trailer. But I don't know. I really don't know. But I honestly think that's not the case. I think, I think we're going to get a third trailer, because they have to have something new. Just for when Shazam comes out, or just whatever. They gotta have something new. Just being like, I don't know very many movies that only have 2 trailers, so.
Yeah. Well, I will say this.
But I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say because it's like, I mean, ideally, ideally I would like a 3rd trailer. But the thing is, I believe there should just be a trailer and not TV spots. Maybe TV commercials, but not like TV spots where they show new stuff in them, because like that's where you get spoilery. Because when you have a trailer, like you can limit. I mean, yeah, it's going to be 2 minutes, 3 minutes of a trailer, and there's going to be stuff you probably haven't seen. But when you get into the TV spots, that's when there's more of them, and there's major points in those TV spots, because that's what was also happened with Kong as well. Kong had a lot of stuff, and even Godzilla 2014. I mean, even Japan spoiled the whole movie in just their TV spots alone for Godzilla 2014. And then just look what happened with Shin Godzilla. You even saw in Shin Godzilla's TV spots, like the best parts of the movie, which there wasn't many, but.
And there we go. We've hit that part of the podcast where we shit on Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
It only took 56 minutes.
But anyways, I don't know. I don't know where I stand on it. I mean, like I was saying, I was surprised that they showed us a TV spot the day we were talking about it, being like, there's not going to be anything for a while. And then they showed us it, and it premiered on TV with no indication at all from anybody that there was going to be a Godzilla TV spot at an NBA game. Nothing was advertised for that. Nothing. Not even. And so, like, it's one of those things where it's like you don't know what's going on, and the thing is, it's like, it's almost given, like I told you the other day, it's given me anxiety because it's not May yet, and you're like, you need to stop watching Godzilla movies. I'm like, no.
Yeah, you stop it now.
I watch Jurassic Park every night waiting for Jurassic World 2. I will watch Godzilla every night waiting for Godzilla.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll be honest. I think there might be one more. There has to be one more full trailer. And that should go in front of Avengers. But I do not think, and I'm going to say it again, even though I was proven wrong with this one, but that podcast hasn't even popped up yet. Again, that's going to be like the Lost Podcast. We're not going to see anything more of Mountain Mover or desert guy.
Don't jinx it again.
We're not gonna see no more. No, we've seen enough. We're not gonna see it.
Now tomorrow morning when we wake up, there's just gonna be this big old thing posted on Monarch's website of the Mountain Mover.
No, we're gonna. We talked about this in the last podcast, so I'm not gonna go crazy with it again. But we're gonna see more story, and if we really want to get crazy and geeky, then give us monster roars. But if we're gonna see any more kaiju, it's gonna be more of the ones that are focused on in the movie. And
then see, that's the thing. I think that's what they should start doing, because you're going to start taking away that limelight, in my opinion, if you keep showing more of the unknown kaiju.
I agree.
That's how I feel.
But that's why I don't think they're gonna show anymore. I think that's just gonna be all right when you get to the movie, because again, everybody going to see this movie ain't Godzilla fans, okay? So they don't know who Anguirus is, and they just see it as another monster. Whereas we are like, oh my God, it's Anguirus! You know what I mean? So that's it. But anyhow, dude, listen.
I'll go see the movie with you just for when Anguirus pops up, where we can both scream, "It's Anguirus!"
Oh, I'm totally down.
Make the whole audience look at us. We get kicked out of the theater.
No, I ain't going nowhere. I'd be like, you ain't getting me out of nowhere. And then they call the cops, and I'm like, all right, sir, I'm out. I'm bye. I don't want to go to. We're not going to jail for breaking into Michael Dougherty's house, Chase. We're going to see the movie. No. But anyway, listen, bro. Thank you for being on with me on this impromptu version podcast of the Godzilla Blog Party. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, always.
And I want to thank all y'all out there for listening to us. It was an impromptu podcast, but you know what? Sometimes the impromptu ones are the best ones. So Thank y'all all for listening and joining us. And we out of here. Peace.